Maxwell on to 176 off 114 balls. 24s and 7 maximums. How do you reckon Majib's feeling right now? Put him down an absolute sitter, short hind leg early on in the innings. Dropped twice, survived an LBW shout that was reviewed. It was going over the top of the stumps. That was a long time ago. In fact, it was about 175 runs ago.
Naveen has to get him. He just has to get him this over. Australia are getting close enough that the others can do it now. It has to be now. Got to find some reserve, something, Naveen. He's got to be the man.
Here's the catch that I was talking about. They don't come much easier than that. Didn't even look to go in the middle of his hands. That went straight down. And one thing we've seen with a lot of those replays we saw from Maxwell's clean hitting, they've all been balls that have been reasonably close to him. He needs to get it a little bit wider and take the pace off and drag the length back a little bit.
Naveen again.
And Glenn Maxwell's display of no feet, no body movement, 6 hitting, shows that you just need the ball right under your eyes and using a little bit of your core and the wrists to be able to generate power. Not too many batters in the world who can generate power with not much body movement, but Glenn Maxwell is one of those.
Not many players in the world would attempt to do this. Oh, how did that miss? Straight over the top. Naveen cannot believe it.
Yeah, and the one difference there was the length. Right, that was on a good length. The other ones have been way too full and way too straight. But that takes him out of his natural hitting arc, and it just goes over the top of the stumps. I can feel a reverse coming here, actually. I think he's going to look to lap him again.
What they have to do here now, Afghanistan, I know it's pretty hard now when you haven't won games in this situation and you can see it disappearing before your very eyes. They have to focus on the fact that they're still in this. And they have Rashid Khan, who's capable of getting a wicket or two and one over, particularly if he gets a new player coming out. He has to bowl shortly. For me, he has to bowl to Pat Cummins if he gets a chance. Or will Maxwell find it harder to hit him?
I'd actually think I'd wait till Maxwell was on strike before I bowled Rashid, because if he does get a chance at Pat, I think Pat can sit on that one over. Knowing that they only need 26 off 31, Maxwell's the man they need out.
Oh, just away, agonisingly away, and Maxwell will keep the strike. Gets down the other end like Charlie Chaplin. It's 267 for 7.
तमाशा ऐप डाउनलोड करो और वर्ल्ड कप लाइव स्ट्रीम करो बिल्कुल फ्री और लातादार डेटा के लिए मंथली फ्रीडम ऑफर सब्सक्राइब करके पाओ 200 GB डेटा सिर्फ 1800 रुपए के लोड में.
You could see the desperation on his face as he was diving, and Maxwell, honestly, he just in the weirdest way gets down the other end and keeps the strike. Maybe the last throw of the dice here for Afghanistan. Ricky Ponding said Maxwell on strike, Rashid Khan has to bowl. Rashid Khan is going to bowl. Could Maxwell afford to sit on this over? Or will he? Not.
64
Just gets to one. I think he knows. He knows he might even get a bit more mobility back here as adrenaline takes him closer. But I think he's starting to believe in a different way now, Maxwell.
Yeah, that's good clarity of thinking actually there, I think, from Maxwell. He knew that Rashid Khan was his danger man. take the single. And now even if they do lose a wicket this over Australia, if Cummins does get out, then the man Maxwell is still there. Saw Zampa last game make 29 in his last outing with the bat, more than capable.
Wide, pressure, big pressure.
And this is the time for a bowling perspective where you just start to bowl, try and bowl that miracle ball. It's no important that single was for Glenn Maxwell to get up the other end.
Oh, Maxwell says we'll take one. They don't want to stop it. We'll have it.
Well, haven't things changed here? They're up and about early. They had their noses in front. Now they're arguing with each other. Rashid's decided to let that go and almost tempt Australia to take a single, and they've taken it. Will Maxwell look for one more big blow this over?
I don't think he has to. I think he's looked at the board and said 22 from 26 deliveries. I got this. I got this. That Cummins says, look, same thing. I think they've come so far, they're not going to let this go. Afghanistan, it's up to them now to find something special. Just one delivery left for Rashid Khan. Can he find something? Maxwell will be aware of that. Definitely moving quicker now. More problems for Afghanistan because they can't stop him getting on strike. It's 21 from 24 required, incredibly. 271 for 7.
धूप में जागेगी खेल की उमंग चाय और क्रिकेट वाइटी पियो जिंदगी जियो
Some can't bear to look. Some can't take their eyes off it. We're in the ladder. 21 required. Maxwell needs 21 for 200. Don't write that off from what we've seen. It's the highest ever score by an Australian in a World Cup game now. And it's the man that put him down who could possibly have a say here. It's gone way back. Way back. Maxwell into the 180s. And it's now just 15 from 22.
Well, this is absolutely unbelievable striking. Nothing more can be said. He can hardly move. You see there, he's reaching right in front of his body. Just uses his arms and his hands to strike that magnificently over mid-wicket again for another maximum. He's 8-6 tonight, Glenn Maxwell, to go with 24s.
15 from 22. Far enough, is it? Yes, it is, by a metre. Maxwell moves into the 190s. It's 9 from 21. Australia now have it in the palm of their hands. It is just the most astonishing run chase you'll ever see.
Glenn Maxwell goes on to the highest ever score for Australia in one-day cricket.
Crashes that through the offside for 4 more. They won't stop that either. Maxwell at 195. Australia just need 5 runs.
And you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? He's 195, Maxwell. A 6 to bring up 200 and win the game.
Everybody here's on their feet. And Maxwell hits it. Can it make it? It does make it. And Maxwell. Unbelievable. The most remarkable thing you'll probably ever see in cricket. Staggering. Absolutely mind-blowing. What a win. And he should not have to walk off the park. He should be carried off. What a performance.
I've watched and played a lot of cricket, Shane and Ian, and I've seen nothing like that. Nothing like this game of cricket. Australia was 7 for 91 and had won 7 down. 7 for 293, a 202-run partnership. Glenn Maxwell ends up 201 not out off 128 balls. And don't forget about his partner at the other end. Pat Cummins has played a huge role in that. He's 12 not out of 68 balls in a partnership of 202.
जिसमें है प्रोवी फॉर्मूला जो बालों को मजबूत बनाए और गिरने से रोके। हेयर फॉल को इग्नोर ना करो, सॉफ्ट करो विद पैंटीन।
सर्फ एक्सेल का नया अलग अंदाज, ये जिद्दी दाग निकाले पर इनके सॉफ्ट पर्ल्स रखे कपड़े नर्म मुलायम।
सॉफ्ट
सर्फ एक्सेल, दागों पर सख्त, कपड़ों पर नर्म।
एक बार से नहाना जब दूर लगाना।
सर्फ एक्सेल का नया अलग अंदाज।
Australia won by 3 wickets. ऑस्ट्रेलिया के मैक्सवेल ने बड़ी कमालदार इनिंग खेली है। बहुत शानदार टीम ऑस्ट्रेलिया। Don't forget to subscribe channel.
And they're acknowledging what they believe to be something absolutely special. Their team
Sportsmania को subscribe करें।
7 for 91, as Ricky Ponting pointed out. They had this full money. They were creating history themselves, and now they've watched history disappear over their heads, literally, into every stand here at Wankiti. Glenn Maxwell. Don't think I'll ever see that again.
I can't believe that we will either, Smithy. 21 fours and 10 sixes.
बहुत ही कमालदार इनिंग ऑस्ट्रेलिया की तरफ से और अफगानिस्तान को शिकस्त हो गई है। अफगानिस्तान का बहुत मुश्किल हो गया सेमीफाइनल में पहुंचना। पाकिस्तान के चांसेस बढ़ गए हैं।
They can't believe what they've seen, and neither can I. Brilliant.
Well, that's the highest one-day international score for Australia. The highest by a number 6 in one-day internationals. The third to make a World Cup double. The highest second innings individual score. The highest 8-wicket partnership in one-day internationals. And here is the winning moment. He actually did move his feet ever so slightly. That's about as far as he could go. I think he knew he got it well enough. He just had to make sure. Pat Cummins knew very early on in the piece. Captain, the hefty captain, Adam Zampa, has been up and down the stairs like you won't believe, and now he can stay put up there and celebrate. Australia needed 201 to win at the fall of the 7th wicket. It's the most runs ever made after the fall of the 7th wicket. The records still just keep coming out of the archives now on this performance for Australia. He's rewritten so many, Glenn Maxwell. 201 from 128. And that was after Australia were on the ropes. Almost, I say almost, down and out. But not while Maxwell's part of the picture, it seems. And the bowlers who were so supreme early on in the piece, when the acid went on, they could find no more.
Yeah, he's spot on. They did go missing late, particularly the spinners. I thought the seamers up front were outstanding. Rashid was up and about early, but he went missing late as well, and his team needed him the most. His last 3 overs were very disappointing. They needed him to strike. He couldn't do it. There's the tail of the tape there. One of the great games of one-day cricket you will ever see. Wasn't all pretty, but what a result for Australia. What an innings from Maxwell. Afghanistan should be very, very proud as well as the way that they played their cricket, particularly for the first 2/3 of this game. There's been one man who's snatched victory from them with something that you'll probably never, ever see again.
They were gone. The 20 over mark, honestly. Honestly, we were lording Afghanistan to the point they couldn't lose. And from that point onwards, 71 for none, 63 for none, and in half a 10 over block, 61 for none at the rate of 8.93 runs per over. And Maxwell fletches in 4 of those blocks. He was in so early, you could not believe he'd be there at the end when Australia had finally triumphed. Running out of adjectives, let's get downstairs and talk to the most incredible performance we've ever heard.
Player of the match tonight for an incredible undefeated double 100, Glenn Maxwell. His Player of the Match award will be presented by Nilesh Malani, Executive President, Chief Marketing Officer of Polycab.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you.
Glenn, first things first, physically, how are you doing?
Horrific. I feel shocking. Yeah, it was obviously quite hot when we were fielding today, and yeah, I haven't really done a whole lot of high intensity exercise, I suppose, in the heat, and it certainly got a hold of me today. And just lucky enough, we came out with a plan to sort of stay at the same end for a little bit until I could sort of get some movement back, and luckily enough I was able to stick it out to the end.
Talking about plans, your team at one stage was 91 for 7. It looked like that was it. It would have been a record chase anyway at this ground. What were the plans at that stage?
Not too much, to be honest. It was basically to, I suppose, stick to our own batting plans for as much as we possibly could. And I suppose for me, it was still trying to be positive, still trying to take them on and try and produce bad balls or something else I could score off. And I felt like if I just defended my way through that, they would have been able to sort of put a bit of pressure. And even with the LBW, that was just going over the top. That was probably the kickstart I needed to sort of tell myself I need to start playing some shots and be a bit more proactive.
Obviously, we know it was quite warm, but tell us a little bit about the surface. Did it change as the match kind of went on?
Oh, I think you obviously saw a little bit more swing and nip around, I think, under lights, as it always happens throughout this tournament. But to credit to them, they bowled absolutely beautifully up front and put us on the back foot. And
excellent performance by Maxwell.
Well. So what we probably struggled to do is take early wickets and put them under pressure, but credit to them, they bowled really well up front.
We already saw a record-breaking 100 from you in the tournament against the Netherlands. Slightly different situation, of course. How does this 100 rank in your career?
Yeah, look, it would have been nice if it was chanceless, but I certainly had my chances. I led a charmed life out there. I was very lucky, and I suppose just made the most of that. I feel like I've had those types of innings before where I've given a chance and I haven't made the most of it. So to make the most of it and go on with it tonight is probably the most pleasing thing. But yeah, to see it out, be not out with Paddy at the end is something I'm really proud of.
You're through to the semi-finals now as well. Big Q next to the name of Australia. How does that feel?
Yeah, amazing. I think after the first 2 games, everyone was pretty quick to write us off, and to come back and win, what's it, 6 straight now is a great effort from this group. The belief is always there, and to win a game like tonight, hopefully that just that belief spreads through the chain through.
Well, I hope the ice bath helps you out tonight. Congratulations, brilliant to watch.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks to Natalie Germanis down there as well, talking to Glenn Maxwell. Here was the turning point, Ricky Conning, you called it.
And fair enough, you don't see many easier catches dropped than that in international cricket.